What is going on, everybody, and welcome to Storm the Field with DJ. I am DJ, and today we are here to do the college football pick'ems from ESPN for Week 7 of the college football season. Let's go. Now, before we get into anything further, I just want to say that most of the people who actually watch my videos are not subscribed. So if you guys could check down below that you are indeed subscribed, that would be great. And if you're not, why not subscribe? It's free, it helps out a ton, and it helps push this content out to more people out there. Also, if you guys would like the video and comment down below what you think of this week's picks, that would be greatly appreciated. So without further ado, let's get into it. So, last week we went a half and half. We went at exactly 500 with a 5-5 record. Last week's picks, we had Iowa State incorrectly picked over Cincinnati. Cincinnati ended up pulling off the upset against the Cyclones. Then Baylor was the correct pick against Kansas State. Vandy was the incorrect pick against Bama. No one foresaw Texas losing to Florida. Washington did indeed beat Maryland. Virginia stays with one loss on the season, only coming to NC State as they beat Louisville, which was another wrong pick. We were correct for the UNLV game, for the Miami game, the Kansas game. Duke really destroyed Cal this week, and we were 14 points off from the correct final score for the Alabama Vandy game. But that was last week. It's time to get on to this week. We are currently, as you can see on the entire season, we are under 500. So this week, our aim is trying to get back to at least 500. So, first game we have here is Alabama at Mizzou. And I got to take the Crimson Tide. The Crimson Tide are favored, minus 155, and 79% of people are picking them. I do think the Crimson Tide are good this season once again, sadly. But I hope to be wrong on this pick, and I hope Mizzou could pull this one off. Next, we got the game of the week, which I think we're going to skip over for now, and go on to the Red River rivalry between the Oklahoma Sooners and the Texas Longhorns. They are both equal by Vegas, minus 110 each. Um, but I gotta pick Oklahoma here. I think John Mateer is gonna be able to get this one done, and I do think he's going to outduel Arch Manning, and I do think both teams will struggle due to the opposing defense, but I believe Oklahoma has a better offense to deal with it. Next, we got TCU at Kansas State, and I am not picking Kansas State in this one. I gotta go with TCU. They are minus 130. 91% of people are picking them, and Kansas State just has not looked good this season ever since week 0. Next, we got Iowa State versus Colorado. Iowa State is at minus 135, while Colorado's at plus 115. Most people seem to be picking Iowa State. It might be some quote unquote fan bias because I do have a friend at Colorado, so I have a soft spot for the Buffaloes. But I do think the Buffaloes could turn this season around and actually pull this game off against Iowa State. I do think Colorado could do it. I like Ken Salter, and I like what Coach Prime is doing there. He still needs a little bit more time to fully get his program underway, but I think he's on a good route for the Buffaloes, especially bringing them a lot of national attention. Next, we got Nebraska at Maryland. Dylan Raiola going on the road for one of the first times this season. Nebraska starts at minus 260 by Vegas, and I gotta go with Vegas here, and as well as 67% of people. I gotta go with Nebraska in this one. I like what Matt Rule has done in Lincoln, so I gotta go with the Cornhuskers in this one. Then we got Georgia at Auburn. Auburn has really fallen off since that loss to Oklahoma. And Georgia only lost being to Alabama. While it was kind of a close game, it was also kind of a blowout. It was a dominant win by Alabama, but yet not a blowout. Georgia almost came back towards the end of it. And I'm gonna pick Georgia here. I do think Auburn has a great home field advantage in this one, but I do think Gunnar Stockton is going to be a better quarterback than not Paxton Lynch, Jackson Arnold. Um, in this game, I do think Auburn will be good enough that they will compete with Alabama in the Iron Bowl this year, and I think that they will make a bowl game. Um, but I do not see them picking up this win against Georgia. Next, we got Michigan at USC. And I gotta pick the Wolverines, even though they are not favored by Vegas. They are at plus 115, while USC is at minus 135. But I like what Bryce Underwood is doing at Michigan. I do think that he is playing very well for a true freshman this season for the Wolverines, and I do think Michigan will be able to pull this one off, even if it is a close game against USC. Next, we got BYU versus Arizona. And I think I got to go with the Cougars here. The past couple seasons, BYU has been pretty dominant in the Big 12, meaning that they have at least been competing for the Big 12 championship. And I do not see Arizona really playing that well this season. So I got to go with the Cougars in this one. Finally, we got Arizona State versus Utah. Arizona State is at plus 175 and Utah is at minus 210. Most people seem to be picking Utah. I don't know. I'm still high on the Sun Devils from last season. I don't know what it is, but I'm still high on them. I believe the Sun Devils could pull this one off. It's going to be a close game no matter what. These are two 4-1 teams. Arizona State, obviously number 21. They are still in the top 25. Utah was ranked until their one loss to Texas Tech in a close matchup. I do believe Utah should still be ranked as well. Um, but I just have more belief in Arizona State than I do in Utah. So I gotta go with the Sun Devils in this one. Now, game of the week. The Indiana Hoosiers travel over to Eugene to face on the Ducks. And I said it 2 weeks ago. This season, I am not picking against my Ducks ever again. The Ducks will take this one, and I'm predicting a decently close game, but I really do think that this one could be a blowout. I could see this one going 20. I see this one going. I'm going 58 points again. I feel like I always go 58 points, but I think a 34-24 victory for the Ducks is a decent margin. I think Dante Moore will outduel um, Fernando Mendoza, even though Fernando Mendoza is a very good quarterback. I do think Dante Moore is one of the best quarterbacks in the country, and I do think Oregon's run game is a lot stronger than Indiana's. I also think the receiving core for Oregon will definitely help out here, and I do think Oregon's defense will be a big factor in how Oregon wins this game. Now, if Indiana does win, that shakes up the Big Ten in a big fashion. That would mean Oregon, Penn State, Michigan. No, Michigan yet does not have a conference loss yet. Um, but Oregon and Penn State already start out with conference losses to start off the year, so it would be a very big climb back up for those two teams to make it to the Big Ten championship, especially with such good teams playing this season like Ohio State and Indiana. Um, so yeah, let me know what you guys think about these picks down below in the comments section. And yeah, I bleed orange and green and yellow, and DJ out. I'll see you all in the next one. Go Ducks, beat the Hoosiers.